What's up, everybody? So as some of you know, I spend a lot of time staring at trees. The more I observe their shapes and colors, the more variety I notice and the happier it makes me. When I look close enough, every tree becomes a unique individual. Yet, from early childhood, we have this cliché idea of a tree being a brown trunk supporting a uniform green crown. In reality, a tree's foliage has much more variety. Even in summer, some trees have reds, yellows, purples, browns, ochres, whites, and many more colors in their crowns. They are much more than just green. And even the greens themselves vary from warm to cold, from light to dark, and from less saturated to more saturated. All these observations inspired a painting I titled More Than Green. For this one, I will be using watercolors and gouache on thick watercolor paper. So, as usual, I begin with the wet on wet watercolor technique where I first wet the paper and then I put on the colors, because this way I can create a landscape where all the colors blend together and I already have some kind of atmosphere without any sharp edges. In the second layer, I add a little bit of sharp edges to bring the hill in the foreground a little bit closer to us and keep the sky very smooth. Now then I start sketching in the tree just by putting down some branches, and then I move on to the leaves in the shadow. So I used various dark greens and I put them all over the tree to already create some kind of movement. So I'm going about it in a very pointillistic manner, but I'm really thinking about shapes more than individual leaves. The idea is that if you have all your shadows in the right places, when you do the lights, you can concentrate on the color instead of worrying about the accuracy of the drawing and the placement of every brushstroke. So it's a way to have more fun as you're finishing the painting. So just before moving on to the light areas of the foliage, I refined the foreground a little bit. I added some details and some warmer tones, reds, oranges, ochres, and so on. And now I'm actually moving on to the main course. So I'm painting in the lighter areas of the crown of the group of trees, and I'm playing around with different hues of green. I'm also adding in some reds, some browns, some oranges, yellows, almost bluish kind of turquoise greens that are colder. And this is inspired by many trees that I've observed even close to where I live. For example, the Crimson King maple is a tree that has an intense variety of colors even in the spring and summer. As I said before, I rely mostly on my instincts when it comes to placing the colors within the tree. I think this is more enjoyable because I feel like I'm creating a dozen little abstract paintings within a realistic painting of a group of trees. And this mix of abstraction and realism, at least to me, makes it much more enjoyable than purely copying something as if you're reproducing a photograph or going into total abstraction where nothing is recognizable. And just as a little cherry on top, I'm adding the silhouette of an artist on top of the hill. And there we go. This is the final painting where I at least attempted to go beyond green. And this is just a little sample of different colors found within the foliage. Thank you for watching this video. If you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel. And if you're feeling more than green today, leave me a comment below to tell me about it.